Hey everybody, welcome to Give Me 5 Minutes with Fort Smith City Director Neil Martin, where we talk about the events that happened last week and we look ahead to what's going on this week. We didn't have one last night due to the Super Bowl, so I had to move it to Monday. So let's go ahead and jump into it. We had a meeting last week, February 6th, and we talked about a number of things. There was a little bit of disagreement of some items, so I'll talk about that in just a second. Probably the biggest thing that we discussed was the rezoning request at 8100 Phoenix Avenue for a new Mercy Cancer Clinic. A really great development for the city of Fort Smith to be able to have that level of care in the Fort Smith area. So we were really excited about that. A lot of opportunity, a lot of economic growth continuing for the city of Fort Smith in 2024. So we were excited about that. 111,000 square feet for this multi-specialty medical clinic. So I encourage you to get more information about that. I'm not sure when building will start, but it's a really cool thing for us. For most items, we were in agreement 7-0. Where we disagreed was amending our budget to correct some leaks at Parrot Island Water Park. Director George Katsavis voted against that. It was 6-1. We also approved a consent administrative order with the Arkansas Division of Environmental Quality related to some levels of ammonia nitrogen at the Mazard Water Reclamation Facility. That vote was 5-1. Director Settle voted against it, and Director George Katsavis, abstained from that. We were voting on an amendment to provide engineering services for remedial measures for some subbasins. That was a 5 in favor, 2 opposed. That was George Katsavis and Andre Good. This is related to some things about a vote that came to us prior and just some disagreement on how that was handled, at least related to the 2 that voted against that. And then we also had contract by Goodwin & Goodwin and trying to complete this particular project. And it was basically to notify the surety on payment and performance bond, and then authorizing the city administrator to secure completion of the project. That was 6 voted in favor, 1 against. That was George Katsavis. So that's just a few of the highlights of the meeting from last week. I encourage you to go to fortsmithar.gov/watch. There you can watch the full meeting. You can see all the discussion. You can see how your directors voted. So I always encourage you to do that. This Tuesday, we have a study session. Well, first off, we're going to have a special meeting and then a study session. So on Tuesday, February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day, we just got a special meeting added to the agenda, and this is to accept the resignation of our internal auditor. Very, very interesting. This has been very interesting. I had a conversation with the internal auditor last week. This was not something I was looking forward to seeing, but it's on our agenda to accept her resignation. She's done some great work for us, so this is really a tough thing. And I encourage you to watch. This meeting will be at the Blue Line, 101 North 2nd Street in downtown Fort Smith. You can also watch online, so I encourage you to watch those discussions around that. But in the study session portion of this meeting, we'll be discussing the renewal of the auto and property insurance for the city. But we'll also this is probably the most important thing, we will be in discussions with Hawkins Weir engineers regarding potential water mitigation projects. If you remember, there was discussion about water rates and sales taxes. And one of the things that we saw, one of the things that I saw as a board, is there are potential mitigation projects that can hopefully resolve some water issues that we've seen out in Chaffee Crossing, or at least we've been alerted to at Chaffee Crossing. These are potential lack of water pressure. So it's really important for us as a board to talk with Hawkins Weir and to get some information about this. So I encourage you to pay attention to those things that are going on. That item with Hawkins Weir is very important as it relates to water and water rates. So I encourage you to pay attention to that. That's it for this week's Give Me Five, folks. I hope I hope this was good information that made you better aware of the items in front of your board of directors. And don't ever forget, it is your board of directors. So we'll do this again next week. Hopefully we won't have anything getting in the way, so I can do this again on Sunday. And we'll do this next week on Give Me Five.